In the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Houston Texans also losing second-year wide receiver Tank Dell to what DeMeco Ryans called a significant knee injury. Dell catching a touchdown, but suffering the injury as he caught the touchdown when teammate Jared Wayne collided with him in the end zone. The knee was stabilized there on the field. Dell was carted off and taken to a local Kansas City hospital before the game was even over. But on Sunday, DeMeco Ryans offering some updates on his wide receiver.
Right now, he's flying back to Houston. As of right now, we'll be evaluating to see where he is. Still meeting with doctors to see what's next for him. But it is a significant knee injury, and our thoughts and prayers are definitely with Tank at this time. We're still evaluating that to see what will happen. He still has to talk to doctors and go through all the procedures there.
As DeMeco Ryans said there, Tank Dell back in Houston after suffering the knee injury and having to stay overnight in Kansas City. Now, I will say it feels like there is one tiny bit of good news to come out of that update from DeMeco Ryans. It's that Tank Dell didn't require any sort of serious immediate surgery in Kansas City. Sometimes with massive injuries to the lower extremities, you see the necessity for a surgery to happen pretty quick to stop damage from occurring to a larger degree. It doesn't seem that's the case for Tank Dell on this one, but there is still clearly a treatment plan to be laid out. As DeMeco Ryans mentioned, there's still conversations and meetings to be had about what exactly is next for Tank Dell after suffering this serious injury. And I have to imagine, and look, I'm no doctor, I don't even play one on the internet, I have to imagine there's also a chance that they need some swelling to go down before doctors can go in there, find out exactly what's going on. But there still needs to be a plan put in place for how they treat the injury for Tank Dell. Then that road to recovery is going to be very important for him. It was very tough on the Houston Texans, as you could see when CJ Stroud talked about it after the game on the field with the players. DeMeco Ryans, even when he's talking about it a day later, it still feels like it is almost isn't real that the Texans are dealing with something this severe. A significant knee injury, again, is how DeMeco Ryans explained it with Tank Dell. So prayers up for Tank Dell. Hopefully he gets the treatment necessary and that road to recovery can begin very soon for him. I mentioned Jared Wayne is the player that contacted Dell in the end zone. What has DeMeco Ryans seen from Jared Wayne in the moments since Tank Dell was seriously injured?
Jared was in a difficult spot emotionally, as anyone would be, right? It's a tough spot to be in. Football, a lot of unpredictable movements, a lot of things happen fast, and none of us can, predict injuries or what's going to happen on the field. It's just guys play fast and things happen all the time, right? You try to avoid things and you slow down, that's when things probably happen even more. So you continue to play fast and just understand, man, it's the unfortunate part of what we do is the injury. So I think for that, it's like everyone needs to just take a step back and think about Tank, think about Jared, all the guys involved on that play. Like it's tough, right? It's tough for me, it's tough for everybody to see anybody hurt.
I can't even imagine what Jared Wayne's going through, having been an element of the play where Tank Dell got hurt. You got to hope that that's not something that's weighing terribly on Jared Wayne for a long time, as he was involved in the play where Dell got hurt. And as DeMeco Ryans went on to explain, injuries are tough in football, and they're tough to watch, regardless of if they're small ones or serious ones, like the one Tank Dell suffered against the Chiefs or the one that the Texans dealt with when the Dolphins were in town.
It's the same when Dubose went down last week. Well, Miami, it's tough to see guys get injured because the work the guys put in, how much they put their bodies on the line to play this game, it's deeper than football. And where a guy's supposed to be it's deeper than that. We're talking about real people who have real emotions, real feelings that are going through a tough time right now. So it's just our thoughts and prayers are with everyone that's involved in this situation.
And as DeMeco Ryans said there, sometimes we do forget while they are gladiators on the football field, professionals, they are indeed just humans under the helmet and under the pads. And you saw some very human and raw emotions from C.J. Stroud on the field after his best friend Tank Dell was injured. Stroud, of course, shedding tears a couple of different times during the game, seemed visibly upset talking about it after the game. What did DeMeco Ryans make of the emotion that not only Stroud, but the entire Texans team showed when Tank Dell went down with his injury?
The emotion that you see from CJ and from our entire team it goes, back to something we talked about in training camp of building a tight bond, building a deeper relationship as a team, right, and growing tighter as a team. And I think that's what showed now. And you see the emotions because, one, CJ, of course, he cares, but Tank is one of his best friends, right? So to see one of your best friends distraught and pain on a field like that, those emotions will come up when you truly, genuinely care about your brother, you care about your teammate. It was emotional for a lot of guys, and it was hard to watch. But it's also, I'm like, wow, all right, this is a really, really tight team. And you see how much guys really, truly care for each other, not just saying it's a brotherhood or no, guys here with the Texans truly care about each other. And that's what you saw from our entire team.
Certainly a tough situation for the Texans, but as DeMeco Ryans noted, it was good to see the brotherhood and the fellowship of his team grow even deeper in a tough situation and to find out just how real that connection is amongst all those players in the locker room for the Houston Texans. Hopefully some updates on Tank Dell later in the week and hopefully positive updates. Maybe this isn't as bad as initially feared, and maybe there is an idea of just how long he could be away from football. Certainly hoping for the best as Tank Dell suffered yet another knee injury, another lower leg injury, I should say, that cost him the end of the season. This one a bit more serious than the one that finished his 2023 season, but hoping for the best. And I know as DeMeco Ryans talked about in here, and I know many people have talked about on social media, the comment section on the YouTube pages, thoughts and prayers up for Tank Dell as his road to recovery begins here very soon. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.